Hello everyone. I hope all are doing well in their life. So welcome to Education with KRCHE, which is Kasturiram College of Higher Education, and this is our YouTube handle. Entrepreneurship development. Okay, when we talk about entrepreneurship development, let me tell you about a few things of a course curriculum like. So this is from BBA 307, the code from the BBA section, and BCom 303 from BCom section. What we are going to discuss, see, entrepreneurship development is like an ocean and we have to just drink a bit from today's class. That's it. And what we are going to drink or what we should gulp today, this is entirely about cultural diversity in entrepreneurship. Like what is cultural diversity and how it impacts and what are the implications of this particular term and this particular terminology in entrepreneurship. So, before that, let me introduce myself. Hello, this is Assistant Professor Vikas from Kasturiram College of Higher Education, working as an Assistant Professor of Department of Commerce and Management. And I am serving this organization, this prominent organization, since January 2020. Before anything further, like what is cultural diversity, what is actually the diversity, we have to understand what is the meaning of entrepreneurship. Like, since we are going to focus entirely on cultural diversity, but still we have to understand a bit about entrepreneurship, what actually entrepreneurship means. Like this is the first session for my classes, and so let's talk about entrepreneurship as a whole term. See, doesn't matter how many books, how many authors, how many thinkers you will follow and you will be reading about all them. Every particular person, every particular organization, every particular individual, what can we say, they have their own definition of entrepreneurship. But these three terms, risk, vision and decisions, you will be finding these three terms in every particular definition. Without this, that's incomplete. It's entirely incomplete. It's just the mixture of these three terms, these three attributes, these three whatever you want to say, which makes a person an entrepreneur. Is similar to, if I have to give you the example to the layman's term, just imagine Coca-Cola without water. It's nothing, just the deep, diluted sugar with solutions and all, that's it. That's entirely about entrepreneurship. If we are going to erase any of these terms from the basic terminology of entrepreneurship, that is nothing. So let's start with the discussion of vision, risk and decisions. See, when we talk about entrepreneur, an entrepreneur in general means very few people understood this particular thing and they are actually working in this. If you have these three capabilities, if you have these three attributes inside your behavior, you are an entrepreneur. I mean, okay, this is not my definition. This is not anyone's particular definition. This is the entire definition in the sum of the thing. Only these three. First, an entrepreneur should have the vision. Imagine, like, just talk about Mark Zuckerberg. We all know him, right? And just talk about Jeff Bezos. We all know him. Imagine they will be sitting while in front of these systems and all. They will thinking, what we have to do? We just have to create a website and that's it. It will work upon khud se. Without vision, do you even think that they would have reached today the place they are right now? Would be there without the particular thing which we call vision. So vision is not only the visionary future, it's all about vision, innovation and creative. When we talk about vision in a person, it does not mean that we have to just close our eyes and we have to daydreaming. No, it's not like this. Vision means you have to see from your open eyes and you have to see where you actually want to be after a few years, after a few months. See, vision is something, today's position and future position, जो भी इसका gap bridge कर रहा है, that is vision. And innovation and creative are these two terms which is most important thing when we call about most important wings of vision. If you are not innovative, but you are visionary, so what will happen? Nothing. You will be like end of the race. You will be ending the race at the end. Vision is something which is the mixture of innovation, vision and creativity. If you don't have innovative ideas of implementing any particular thing, you will be just wasting the money of the investors on you. So vision, and when we talk about innovation and creativity, these two particular things are the wings of vision which is necessary in an entrepreneur. If you have vision, if you have innovation, if you have creativity, yes, the first particular thing, or we can say first particular attribute of an entrepreneur is completed. Congratulations if you have this particular thing. Second one is risk. Again, how we all use social media sites, right? Facebook, Instagram. I mean, even I have shared my email ID. That is also a form of social media. Do you, haven't you read this term? If you are not taking the risk, that's the biggest risk in the life, right? I can assure you कि if you are on social media platforms, और अगर ये लाइन नहीं पढ़ी है तो बॉस यू आर नॉट यूजिंग social media platform, you are just wasting your time while scrolling your phone, that's it. We all have somehow heard this term, that is, if you are not taking the risk, you are wasting your life. And risk का मतलब ये नहीं होता कि just बाइक को 120 की स्पीड में भगाएंगे, या फिर we do bungee jumping. These are different type of risk. Even in that particular thing, if we talk about, बिना उस risk के we would not be having that much, adventure. What can we say, like adrenaline rush kind of thing, whatever the. Just imagine if you are not going to climb up on the tower of or the cliff of the hill, you won't be jumping. क्या उसमें risk नहीं है? Of course. But when we talk about entrepreneurship, the entrepreneurship का risk उन सब से अलग है. When we talk about entrepreneurship, the entrepreneurship has the risk of loss of time, loss of efforts, and loss of money. But trust me, these are not the loss, these are the learnings. Whatever mistake an entrepreneur makes, ना तो वो पहली होगी उनकी और ना ही वो आखिरी होगी. You can have thousands of examples जो पहले दूसरी even 20 startups तक उन्होंने अपने पैसे डुबाए, फेल हुए, इन्वेस्टर्स के पैसे डुबाए, but now they are successful. I'm talking about Snapchat. That's great. So after vision, you should be having the risk taking capabilities. If you are not taking the risk, your vision is just wasteful. सपने ही देखने तो सो के देख लो, खुले आंख देख कर अपने एट्रीब्यूट की बेकार कर रहे हो. After vision, you should be having that risk taking capacities. If you are not having it, stop yourself. But if you have it, just think why you are not an entrepreneur right now. Maybe because of third particular thing, and that is decisions. I have vision, I have risk taking capacities, but what if I'm not taking decisions? It's just same like कि मेरे पास घर के आगे गाड़ी खड़ी है पर मुझे चलानी आती है एंड मैं उसको चला नहीं रहा, that's it. क्यों नहीं चला रहा? मेरी मर्जी, क्या पता डर लगता हो, जो भी है. Same concept talks about decisions. If an entrepreneur doesn't have that particular thing of decisiveness, he is not an entrepreneur. And decision making capacities are the basic thing जो एक पर्टिकुलर पर्सन को आज से लेकर कल तक पहुंचाएगी. इफ यू आर नॉट टेकिंग डिसीजंस टुडे, यू आर जस्ट वेस्टिंग योर vision, you are just wasting your risk taking capacities. So these three are the attributes of an entrepreneur. If you think that you have these three abilities, boss, you are an entrepreneur. Just bring up the ideas, right? Let's move to the next slide. Now, while we talked about entrepreneurship, we must talk about entrepreneurs and successful entrepreneurs though. The people on your screen, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Jack Ma, Larry Ellison, Elon Musk, we all know them. We all know them. If you don't know them, what are you doing in this world? बस शाहरुख खान को जानना है तो फिर फ़ायदा ही क्या है? We all know these people: Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, Zuckerberg, Jack Ma, Larry Ellison, Carlos Slim. Okay, I can understand that Carlos Slim and Bernard are the name you haven't heard of, but बाकी तो सुने होंगे. Elon Musk is the most famous entrepreneur on Twitter. हर किसी दूसरे दिन he tweets something like, which drives the world crazy. Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook, right? Bill Gates, Microsoft. Even you people have these two terms, these two apps in your phone and laptops even right now. And how can you forget about Jeff Bezos, the Amazon founder? Jack Ma, Alibaba founder from China. And Larry Page and Larry Ellison, these people basically who have created Google also. And my personal favorite is the Warren Buffett. I mean, he doesn't own any manufacturing unit, doesn't own service unit. He just invests money into the startups. That's it. That's exactly what he do. So these are the people who have these abilities. Mark my words, I have said who have these abilities. मतलब इनके पास वो abilities आज भी हैं. Entrepreneurship and all these terms are the mixture of consistency. You don't have to just use those abilities, use those attributes once in your life. You have to use once, twice, thrice, 4 times, 5 times. जितनी बार you will be facing challenges, you have to use this. These are the world entrepreneurs, world famous entrepreneurs. But these are the famous Indian entrepreneurs. The first one is like Sachin Bansal, Binni Bansal. founders of Flipkart. Then Oyo founder, then Byju's founder, then Paytm founder, and whatnot. These people are Just Dial founder also here. So these are the unicorn startups of India today. If Indian startup is famous in entire world, so just because of these few people. I mean, they are only a few. There are a lot of entrepreneurs. There are male entrepreneurs. There are female entrepreneurs. Even there are immature entrepreneurs, what we call below 18 years. But they are entrepreneurs. But we are talking about entrepreneurs who are famous, so that you will be understand. I mean, in sabke paas, just talk about Oyo rooms. We all have used Oyo rooms kabhi na kabhi. Doesn't matter. We have to go to the tour. We have to go to the with family, and we have to spend time with friends whatsoever. Oyo rooms is the startup which have changed the way of booking. I mean, I still remember those days when we were in the school, and if we have to go to some place, let's suppose Manali, Rishikesh, wherever, so our parents has to make calls to thousands of numbers. Please, agar room hai to batao, room hai to batao. If not that possible, then we have to go to the particular destination. Jis time pe, let's suppose we wanted to reach 12 p.m. We will be reaching at 8 p.m. so that हम उसको प्रॉपर देख सकें कि कैसे है, कहाँ है, एंड और होटल्स वगैरह सर्च कर सकें. एंड those people charged a lot. मजबूरी का फ़ायदा उठाते हैं वो. That's the reality of the business. But Oyo Room have changed this. Now you just have to pick up the phone, scroll the app, and that's it. Room book. He had the vision. He had the ability. He is the college dropout also, I think so. He had the vision. He had the risk-taking capacity, and he took the decision. And see, he's one of best people we have in entrepreneurship world. Or I should say, one of best people in entire country right now, who just changed the definition of entrepreneurship. Now, when we talk about entrepreneurship, so एक क्वेश्चन जो बच्चे में से बहुत ज़्यादा पूछते हैं, and that one question is, सर अगर हमारे पास आइडिया है, हमारे पास कैपेसिटी है रिस्क की, डिसीजन की, अब पर पैसा नहीं है, तो पैसा अरेंज करने के लिए हम कहीं पे जॉब करते हैं, तो क्या हम एंटरप्रेन्योर नहीं कहलाएंगे? सी, देयर इज अ डिफरेंस. अगर आपके पास ये सारी एबिलिटीज़ हैं, इफ़ यू हैव ऑल दीज एबिलिटीज़ and still you are working with an organization, you are just, what you are doing, you are just monetizing your abilities so that you can get money, and you will start a startup kabhi na kabhi. I'll say you have that abilities and you are an entrepreneur. But if we talk about theoretically or practically भी, तो you are not an entrepreneur in real. क्योंकि entrepreneur का एक और ability होती है, या फिर एक और basic feature होता है कि he has monetized his passion somewhere into the field of monetary terms. So you have all the abilities, you are earning well, that's entirely up to you how you are doing things. You are not an entrepreneur, you are an intrapreneur if you have these things in your attributes and you are working somewhere under someone in an organization. Let's read up this slide. When we talk about entrepreneur, so entrepreneur has this independence, wholly independent in creation and governance of their entrepreneur project. He is wholly independent, he is wholly responsible for that particular thing. I mean, if I am going to start, okay, I would like to discuss a few things. हम entrepreneur को हमेशा ये सोचते हैं कि if you have app, if you have website, if you have some kind of these things, so you are an entrepreneur. No. Entrepreneur activities और entrepreneur तो वो भी है जो जूस का ठेला या फिर जूस की शॉप खोल के बैठा है. He too is an entrepreneur. He is an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur का मतलब ये नहीं है कि you just have to come to the phone. No. Entrepreneurship is also कि starting a chain of restaurants. बीकानेर वाला, हल्दीराम, they don't have app, और if they have तो वो किसी यूज़ का नहीं है. Actually I don't use, तो मुझे नहीं पता. बाकी entrepreneur ज़रूरी नहीं है कि सक्सेसफुल तभी हों जब they will be having billions of dollars. सक्सेस की अपनी अपनी डेफिनेशन होती है हर किसी की. My definition of success is different, your can be different, and the person who wrote these particular thing, okay, me. But still, we all have different perspective when it comes to success. So, entrepreneur is wholly independent for his entire creation, for his entire governance of their entrepreneur project, entire things. But when we talk about intrapreneur relatively independent in creation and governance of their intrapreneurial project. Okay, let's understand what it is. अगर basic मैं समझाऊँ, let's talk about person X. So person X has all the abilities, everything. But he works as a manager. He works as a manager with an organization. Let's suppose Apple company में job करते हैं. Don't you think he should be termed an entrepreneur? Again, no, he won't be termed as an entrepreneur because he has not monetized his passion into the field of entrepreneurship, but he has all the abilities. तो अगर एक पर्सन जिसके पास सारे वो एबिलिटीज हैं जो एक एंटरप्रेन्योर के पास होती हैं, if that person is working with an organization, so he has the boss, he has the superior, but this person will be called intrapreneur. What we will call them? Intrapreneur. तो intrapreneur का definition simple सा है boss. If a person has all the attributes of an entrepreneur but he works with an organization, that is intrapreneur. Okay, so the intrapreneur relatively independent होते हैं intrapreneur project के लिए. They are independent for their intrapreneurial project. And when we talk about these time constraints and all, so just come to the third point, risk. Entrepreneur assumes an entrepreneur has to take all business risk. All. See, entrepreneur is one जो खुद का कुछ क्रिएट करते हैं और entrepreneur is one जो किसी और के क्रिएशन में जाके जॉब करते हैं. तो फर्क है. अगर entrepreneur के हम रिस्क की बात करें, उनके रिस्क टेकिंग कैपेबिलिटीज की बात करें, तो he has taken the risk to the extent जहाँ पे सब कुछ उन्हीं पर डिपेंड है. सब कुछ. They assumes they took all the risk. बट व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट एंटरप्रेन्योर रिस्क, तो एंटरप्रेन्योर सिर्फ वो रिस्क लेते हैं जिसका प्रोजेक्ट उनको एसोसिएट किया जाए, जिस प्रोजेक्ट के लिए उनको एसोसिएट किया जाता है, दे हैव टू टेक दैट रिस्क ओनली. इफ पर्सन एक्स इज एसोसिएटेड विद मार्केटिंग रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज ऑफ एप्पल इनकॉर्पोरेशन, सो ही विल बी रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर ओनली एप्पल इनकॉर्पोरेशन, दैट्स इट, ओनली एप्पल. बट इफ ही स्टार्ट्स समथिंग ऑफ हिज ओन, तो ही विल बी रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर मार्केटिंग, ही विल बी रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर रिसर्च, ही विल बी रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर फाइनेंस, ही विल बी रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर इवन everything, even staffing, recruitment, selection, everything. So these are the basic differences, right? When we talk about decision making, so the entrepreneur is involved in all relevant strategic decision making. I told you all the wings will be of entrepreneurship. If you have open hands, means if you are entrepreneur. But if you are entrepreneur, you have to shrink your hand to the only one project. That's it. So entrepreneur and intrapreneur, entrepreneur and intrapreneur. That's it. I hope it is clear to you all. Now, to sum up all about entrepreneurship, there are certain quotes. First one is from Bill Gates. It's fine to celebrate success, but it's more important to heed the lessons of failure. As I told you, as I mentioned pehle bhi, that will not be the first mistake you will make. That will not be the last as well. Right? Second one is from Warren Buffett. It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. Think. If you think that, you will be doing things differently. That's the reality. Just think how much efforts it takes to build an organization, and one single mistake can just ruin it. And the last one is from Jeff Bezos. One of the huge mistakes people make is that they try to force an interest on themselves. You don't choose your passions. Your passion chooses you. So, let's discuss this thing a bit. I like writing, let's suppose. I like writing. But not poems. I like writing articles. I like writing some, let's suppose love stories. And if I will be thinking कि okay, market में love stories से ज़्यादा action stories चल रही हैं, तो if I will be forcing that particular thing into me कि okay, action लिखना है, I will be ending with a disaster. Your passion chooses you, and passion के अंदर भी फिर filtration लगता है. As I told you, I like writing, but I don't like writing poems. That's a hypothetical situation though, right? Then I like writing articles. That's again a hypothetical situation. I don't, right? So your passion will choose you when that will be the right time. But you have to be ready with these particular things: decision making capabilities, risk taking capacities, and the vision, which has innovation and creativity. Now finally let's talk about cultural diversity. Okay, just leave this term cultural diversity, is a kind of big term. Let's talk about diversification. What is the term diversification? I mean, what actually the term diversification means? Take a pause and think. I will be saying diversification is nothing, just spreading your legs everywhere. That's it. Show your strength everywhere. The best example of diversification is like, before that culture diversification, let me talk about ITC. ITC is the company which is the full form of Indian Tobacco Company. Okay, let's talk about a bit of history of these people. So ITC initially was entirely focused on tobacco products, but gradually they shifted, or I will say they diversified their business from tobacco to particular stationery to hotel industries to aviation, and gradually aviation also, matlab everywhere. Now today ITC is everywhere. ITC has diversified its business to every place. Like they are in the stationery, they are in the hotel booking, even they are in the food, FMCG product, and they are even on the film industries. Many people don't know these particular things actually. So what they are doing, they are just diversifying their business. Diversification को अगर बहुत अच्छे से समझना है तो just take the ball of gems, you must have seen those advertisement of gems जिसमें ऐड आता है, इतना बड़े balls होते हैं. Just take that ball and drop it on the floor. एक एक gem बिखर जाएगा. This is diversification. जब तक वो पूरी ball है, that is not diversification. The moment it will fall into the ground और वो बिखर जाएगा, that will be the diversification. So diversification is nothing but spreading your legs, spreading your wings to everywhere, wherever it is possible. But that is not diversification which we are going to learn. We are going to learn about cultural diversification, or we should say cultural diversity. So cultural diversification or cultural diversity, what is this? I mean, what the term actually mean? You have understood the meaning of diversification, right? Spreading your wings to the everywhere. But what about culture? Cultural diversification को समझने के लिए the best way and the best place is India. See, India is the home of the oldest religion, what we so called as Hindu. Hindu religion is the oldest religion in the world. But do you think Hindu is the only culture we follow, Hinduism? Now, we have Hinduism के अंदर बहुत सारे cultures. Brahmin, Shudra, Vaishya, and fourth one I don't know. I mean, it could be anything. But what is this? These were the four main parts of the Hindu culture. Then they got separated, they spread their wings and all. Even today, if you will be thinking a particular community, if you will be considering any particular community, what you will find? You will find इस कम्युनिटी के अंदर भी ये चीज़ें हैं, और भी हैं, और भी हैं, और भी हैं, और भी हैं, मतलब layers and layers and layers and layers and layers. That is cultural diversity, right? I mean, cultural diversity का the best example I'll share with you. We Hindu people, we all worship Shivling, right? Shivji. What we used to do, we have that Shivling of black color in the middle of Shiv Parivar. We just worship that. I had seen a sadhu in Haridwar. What he did, he just Ganga Snan, after that Ganga Snan, he just came out of the Ganga Nadi and he just made his hand like this, and he poured and he worshipped this finger while considering this shape as a shivling. He considered, I can't find shivling right now, so this particular shape is of shivling and I'm worshipping it. That's it. This is the example of vast diversities in the terms of culture, especially in India. So India is the home of I don't know how many cultural people. Like हमारे यहाँ पे कुछ किलोमीटर के बाद ही कल्चरल चेंज हो जाता है, कुछ किलोमीटर के बाद, right? If even just leave out culture, if we have thousands of languages, we have thousands of culture. अगर ऐसे समझना तो, and languages का मतलब है like there are thousands of languages with a bit of differences. Just walk a few kilometers in any particular UP, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh or Maharashtra, Kerala, Karnataka, Kashmir, wherever. A few kilometers, just 15 kilometers jao, you will be finding a new village, you will be finding a new block, new language. Itni diversification hai. Just imagine I'll show you the map if it is possible for me, but I don't think it's needed. But when we talk about diversification, just imagine the country India. I mean, the people who actually are watching this particular video, I can assure they are not from a single background of culture thing. They can be like Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, like Christians, Jain, Baudh, whatsoever. That is the diversification. So I hope you must understood the concept of cultural diversity. What is the meaning of cultural diversity? Cultural diversity means when we have cultural diversification in our particular term we are talking about. Right now we are talking about cultural diversities of entrepreneurship. So when we have that cultural diversity in our entrepreneurship thing, that will be called that cultural diversification and all this. So let's read out a few points which will make things clear to you. Diversity means variety in characteristics and qualities that distinguish people one another. That's the reality thing I told about, right? Diversity means variety in characteristics and qualities that distinguish people one another. एक से दूसरे को अलग करने वाली जो भी चीज़ें होती हैं, that is diversification. It can be gender, it can be age, it can be education, it can be ethnic background, it can be your beliefs also. Like, let's talk about political beliefs. We have, I don't know how many parties. हर कोई किसी ना किसी को believe करता है. Like, I personally believe XYZ party, you personally believe XYZ party, so we have that diversification. That's why we believe na, if we will having only one party, what will do we have the diversification if we have only one political party in our country? No, we won't be having. So diversification means जब हम बिखराव किसी चीज़ का कर देते हैं. And when we are talking about cultural diversity, जब हमने अपने कल्चर का बिखराव देखा, जब हम अपने कल्चर का बिखराव किया और जब हम उस कल्चर के बिखराव को पढ़ रहे हैं, that is cultural diversity. Okay. Diversity recognizes the fact that organizations' workforce include people from different backgrounds. This is like the basic. I mean, a particular line which says everything about diversification, and it simplified the way you have to understand. If you have time, just enter into a factory. MNC में तो you won't be allowed to enter unless you will have the job. Factory में घुस के देखो, you will be finding a simple factory. That's it. You will be finding a place जहाँ पे people from different background actually are working together. They will be having people from Bihar, from UP, from Haryana, from Punjab, from Kashmir, from Kanyakumari, from Kerala, Assam, from wherever they are. Even in that particular state, अलग-अलग districts से. So what is this? This is a diversification. And last, which I have wrote, gender, age, ethnic background, education, what are your beliefs, what do you eat? Even this particular thing counts in diversification. That's why we use the term ETC. Now, as I told you, this is a world map. So just look at, where is our proud India? Here, in Asia. And when in Asia, it's powerful and, peaceful nation. India, when we talk about it, it's our lovely nation. So what are we discussing here? अगर हम पुरानी मूवीज़ को भी जाके देखें तो we will be okay, just leave that पुरानी movies. We all have watched that Namaste London from Akshay Kumar, right? तो उसमें it talk about diversification of India. And just look at all around us. I mean, India के पास China, mainly it focuses on Bauddha. We have the Middle East. We have then European nations. So the diversity, the layers of diversity, I should say, the layers of diversity you will find in India, it's impossible, or I should say next to impossible, to find that layers of diversity anywhere in this world. That's why I say India is the proud nation. Now next slide, with merits of diversity in entrepreneurship. This is the particular chart we have to understand, and we will be spending the most of the time of this session from this particular thing. When we talk about merits of diversification, so we should understand the merits of diversification itself when it comes to the entrepreneurship. Let's talk about it deeply, थोड़ा सा समझते हुए. See, we have innovation, we have business expansion, we have market access, we have creativity, we have interaction and better problem solving and creative, all these things, right? So merits of diversity in entrepreneurship, and when we are talking about diversity, we are talking about cultural diversity. Merits of cultural diversity in entrepreneurship. So first discuss about innovation. Imagine yourself into a business where you will be having people from different background, different beliefs. You are just inviting all innovative minds into your organization with that one decision of diversification. When we talk about innovation, we must talk about the introduction of new product in a different market. Just think about that product. What will be the innovation? What will be the benefits in innovations when you have the diversity? If you want to launch a product, in India and it's the Western country product, do you think that following the same strategy will be consider yourself to business as a success? Let's take the live example of Amazon, McDonald's, whatsoever. Let's take up the example of Amazon. Amazon always followed the pre-order system in Western countries and especially US and all this thing. You have to pay for your order before receiving it, before delivering. But when it came to India, when it decided to, enter into the Indian market, they had to change their strategy. Why so? Because Indian people don't actually believe didn't actually believe at that point of time कि we will pay the amount and हमें वो सामान मिल जाएगा. So they had introduced that cash on delivery system only for Indian market. What is this? This is the way of entering into a new market. When McDonald's entered into Indian market, they had their ingredient filled with aloo, potato, makalu and all this thing. Generally because aloo is the product which entire nation consumes. I mean, even आपने भी आज या कल में आलू खाया ही होगा. Doesn't matter with आलू गोभी, आलू परवल, whatsoever, right? So this is the way you have to enter into new market. And now this was the global expansion. Now let's consider and shrink it to India. If my product is entirely based in Delhi, but I have to expand that particular product in Kerala. If I don't have any person from Kerala, how would I have to hire someone, क्योंकि that person will be the one जो Kerala market को ज़्यादा अच्छे से समझता होगा. So innovation and risk. But if we have that people already in our company, हमारा कॉस्ट बच जाएगा. ऑफ कोर्स वी हैव टू कंसल्टेंट एंड ऑल, इन सब का कॉस्ट बच जाएगा. वी विल जस्ट डू वन थिंग. ओके, दिस पर्टिकुलर पर्सन यू हैव टू गो टू द केरला, यू हैव टू गो टू द नेटिव प्लेस, यू जस्ट हैव टू मिक्स द कल्चर ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर प्लेस एंड आर प्रोडक्ट डाइवर्सिफिकेशन. दैट्स इट. यू जस्ट हैव टू डू दैट. सो इनोवेशन will be the first benefit from diversification, and the second one is the biggest benefit, business expansion. If you have people, okay, consider about a particular institute only, right? An institute is entirely based in Delhi. They don't have any particular admissions, any particular thinking, any particular whatever from Bihar, UP, Haryana, Kerala and Maharashtra, Kashmir, कहीं से भी नहीं. But they have people working with them like their employees from all these states. So what will that institute do to grab the admissions? ये इन सबको एक एक टिकट कटाएंगे, बोलेंगे please go to your place and promote our organization, our institute in your place, in your hometown. That will be the opportunity to grab new admissions. If you have the diversification into your business, so business expansion will be the biggest benefit to you. Biggest. Business expansion doesn't only mean कि एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट से दूसरे डिस्ट्रिक्ट चले जाएं. It's एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट से दूसरे स्टेट में, दूसरे कंट्री में भी जाएं. Third one is market access. See, all these terms, business expansion and market access, this is the bookish term, like which should be in the parallel to business expansion. But book में अलग अलग given है, so I have put it out. Market access, same thing. If you have people from different background, you have the market access of their people's गाँव का also. Like I belong from Bihar and my organization wants to expand their business into Bihar. What they'll do? They'll just do one thing. Ki, okay, he's from Bihar. We just have to pick him up and send him to the Patna, Darbhanga, wherever the place, so that we would be the one which will be having the competitive advantage from our competitors to grab that admissions from Bihar. This has the process which had been followed since ages by all the organizations. I mean, just think this way. If you are the CEO of an organization and you have to expand your business at the place जहाँ पे आपका कोई relation नहीं है, you have to hire people from there also, यार. You have to, right? So the next one is interaction. Okay, when we talk about interaction, so we should understand the meaning of brainstorming. अच्छा, what we have to understand the meaning of brainstorming. तो brainstorming होता क्या है? Brainstorming is nothing but sitting in an entire room with at least 10 people, my person, 10 people, and we will be discussing ideas. हम एक रूम में बैठ जाएंगे and we will be saying कि okay, we need to launch this product this way. अब ये जस्ट आइडिया हमने मार्केट में छोड़ दिया. मार्केट मीन्स उन 10 लोगों के आसपास में रख दिया. If all these 10 people are, we can say, like एक ही believe के, तो their capacity of thinking, their capacity of brainstorming will be limited to that particular belief. But if we will be having people from different background, people from different ethnical background, different educational background, तो उनके सोचने का तरीका भी अलग अलग होगा. There are a few products जिनको बहुत ही layman's तरीके में, मतलब 7th class 8th class को अगर किसी को बेचना है कुछ, तो you don't have to need बहुत बड़ा business mind. You just have to be okay, इनके हिसाब से सोच लो, you will be finding the solution, right? So interaction is the key. Interaction is the only key जिसकी वजह से you will bring a new ideas, many new ideas into your organization. Many. And interaction is best when you have diversification in your organization, especially in that room where you are sitting right now. If you have diversity in your organization, when it comes to staffing, when it comes to processes, you will be finding that level of intensity in the brainstorming of ideas when it comes to interaction. That will be the best thing one could do. If you want, that's a personal suggestion, if you want to pull up some great ideas, just brainstorm your ideas with people who actually are diversified with the level of thinking, with the level of income, with the level of education, and with level of beliefs. Interaction. All these will mix up to the mug of better problem solving. See, doesn't matter it's a business relationship or it's a personal relationship. Communication is the key where you will be discussing all the problems and you will be finding the solution of everything. And when you are communicating, what you are doing, you're just discussing your ideas. And when you're discussing your ideas, what you are doing, you're just interacting with people. And when you are interacting with people, what actually you are doing, you are just brainstorming your ideas. And when you are brainstorming, when you are brainstorming according to the entrepreneurship, you want to access the market. Why you want to access the market? Because you want to expand your business with innovation ideas. That's why it had been put in like innovation, business expansion, market access, interaction, business, better problem solving, and creativity. The better problem solving is this thing only. And now when we talk about creativity, the creativity is the most important thing when we come about cultural diversification, because this is the thing which we get from it. As I told you, vision. In the starting I mentioned now, vision should be the first attribute of an entrepreneur. And vision के अंदर क्या था? Innovation and creativity. Here it is, creativity. If you have creativity, you will be having techniques to solve problems अच्छे ढंग से. If you have techniques to solve problem अच्छे ढंग से, you will be interacting people. If you will be interacting people, you will be brainstorming your ideas to access the market. When you are accessing the market, why you are doing so? Because you want to expand the business with innovative ideas. So these are the merits in a similar way. Apart from this, let's have a discussion wala point कि what else, what extra benefits we could achieve with this term cultural diversity. If you are inviting people from all backgrounds, so what will be your motive? हम चाहते हैं कि हमारे पास हमेशा skilled workers हो, लेकिन at a particular place कुछ ना कुछ तो exhaust कर जाएगा. So if you are inviting people from different background, you are inviting skilled workers from different background. First. Second, customer. See, if we talk about how business emerges till 2021, so पहले like 1950 1940 के आसपास पे business was not entirely focused on customers. They were entirely focused on how their product should attract the management. Let me tell you, if you are not focusing on your customer's need, you will die soon. I'm talking about business. A business should always think about customers' need, customer satisfaction. And when we talk about customer satisfaction, we have ये term पढ़ी होगी हमने कभी ना कभी या फिर कहीं ना कहीं सुनी होगी. Customer is the king of organization. He can destroy you or she can destroy you as well. It can destroy you and it can make you. Domino's Pizza has that, आज के टाइम पे we all love Domino's. Even I love Domino's. You love Domino's. We all love Domino's. But back in 2007 to 2009 इस टाइम के आसपास, people hated Domino's. They had that, what we can say, feedback. They had that feedback कि the pizza of Domino's tastes like a cardboard. This was the reality, and this is the reality, boss. If you want to see this documentary, you can even search it on the Google. Domino's had the worst pizza at one point of time. Then they just did one thing, and what they did, they just accepted their feedback from the customer and started innovating the new ideas to make the crust of pizza, or we can say toppings or whatever the mixture, to grab the taste of customers. 18 months it took 18 months to the giant, which is today. A giant in Domino's, because today Domino's के competition में कोई भी नहीं है. I mean, you don't follow the market, I don't know you follow the market or not, but Domino's के shares 2000 times extra return दे चुके हैं 2009 से आज के टाइम पे, even more than Google, Alphabet, Apple, इन सब से. What was their strategy? Their strategy was very simple. Just to satisfy the customer they are targeting. पहले they were not satisfying their customer. What they did, they accepted their negative feedback. Then उनके तो head chefs थे. Head chefs. I mean, imagine the $1 billion industry, $1 billion company के head chef. They just went door to door to those people who just gave the negative feedback about Domino's. कि please ये taste करके बताओ. Is it right now? Is it okay now? Something like this. The people actually didn't believe कि chef from Domino's came to their door अपना पिज़्ज़ा लेकर. And that was the breakthrough to the Domino's, and that was a turning point. After that, Domino's never seen the decline. It always been the climb up to the growth, and that's the reality. So what they did, they just focused on their customers' need. And when any organization focuses on customers' need, they will be successful. And why I told you this entire story? Because when we have to think customer के हिसाब से in India, we do have to think their cultural background. Not everyone will have the same taste. Let's talk about food industry. Not everyone will have the same taste. Not everyone will have the same belief. So what do you need to do to satisfy the customer? You have to understand their particular beliefs, their particular taste. So what is the best way? Just diversify your business internally as well with cultural diversity. That's how big cultural diversity concept is, and that's how important it's in the entrepreneurship field. Third, everything works on emotions, sentiments. Sentiment would be the right word. If you are hurting the sentiment of your customer, you are digging your own grave. I'm talking about company. If company is ignoring the customer feedback, if company is just, जानबूझ के they are pinching to the sentiments of the customer when it comes to culture, they are just digging their own grave, especially in India. To not just touch, to give pleasure culturally to the customers, you must have this diversity into your organization. अगर आपके पास different culture background के लोग आपके business में हैं, तो they understand their people, they understand their background. They will warn you कि अगर कोई भी चीज़ किसी भी people के या किसी भी person के emotion को sensitively या फिर कुछ भी एक तरह के sentiment को touch करेगी या फिर hurt करेगी. They will warn you immediately. Let's talk about a holiday. अगर कोई गवर्नमेंट ये बोलती है कि हम किसी फेस्टिवल की हॉलीडे कैंसिल कर देंगे, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट गवर्नमेंट, या फिर ओके टॉक अबाउट कंपनी, कोई कंपनी ये बोलती है कि ओके वी वोंट गिव हॉलीडे ऑफ लाइक किसी पर्टिकुलर फेस्टिवल का, बाकी मार्केट दे रही है क्योंकि हम यहाँ पे हैं ही नहीं. इफ़ पीपल विल हैव द बिलीव ऑन दैट फेस्टिवल, दे विल वॉर्न यू इमीडिएटली कि सर इसकी वजह से हमारे कस्टमर्स विल बी डिससेटिस्फाइंग, क्योंकि हमारे जो फ्रंट लाइनर स्टाफ है, फ्रंट लाइनर स्टाफ मतलब जो हमारे पर्सन है जो पब्लिक से डायरेक्ट डील करते हैं, दे विल बी अनसेटिस्फाइड. वो वॉर्न करेंगे कि सर दिस विल hurt sentiment of people, whether it's employee, whether it's customer. They will stop there. So these three will be the basic ideas, or I should say basic or best merits of cultural diversity in entrepreneurship. The last quote or last discussion. According to Jacobs, differences among people results in generation of new ideas. Of course, I mean, if you have different people in your organization, you will generate new ideas. If all individuals were perfectly homogeneous, there would be total consciousness with respect to any new idea, and there would be no reason to start a new firm. सब कुछ अगर if everyone is believing on a particular point, then what's the point of discussion? You are not going to believe anything else. वैसे भी differences across thoughts leads to divergence in development of new ideas that promotes people to start new venture. That's it. And with this is Vikas just signing off from this particular session. You can find me at the mail ID which is given there. If you have any query, just ask. Bye bye. Have a nice day. Stay safe.